Well, since we're talking about training, what makes a good student? What makes a good training partner?
I think a good student, he's open-minded. He's not completely brainwashed, but he's open-minded. He's reasonable, and loyalty is important, because if you're not loyal, if you're not committed to your group, they're not going to be committed to you in the long run. And it's hard to commit yourself as a trainer when you know somebody's just there for a short period who just wants to, take what they can from you and leave. Why would you spend so much time and energy when you have other guys who are loyal and committed to you?
Yeah.
It's important. I think there's politics involved when it comes to training, and it's just part of life. Me and my trainers, I put them up on a pedestal. I still train. I come to the Hensel Gracie Academy. I'm just a student. I roll. I get tapped out. I get choked out like everybody else. I put my dues in, and I learn and I explore. And people sometimes are like, they're trying to go easy on me. I tell them, no. If you can take my arm, take it. If you can take my neck, take it.
Yeah.
I'm here to learn just like everybody else. And there's no, in my opinion, there's no room for the egos and the attitudes and all that. You got to put that away. When you walk on the mat, it's time now to see what's real and what's functional, and that's what the art depends on.
Well, talking about the art, what makes a fighter? What makes a martial artist? Are they different? Are they one and the same?
I think a martial artist has a traditional attitude, which is that of respect, and I think that's so important. Respect is so important, because you're teaching these young kids how to be, dangerous.
Yeah.
They can knock people out, they can choke people out, they can break arms, and I think if you just teach anybody that and you don't teach them the value and the responsibility with that, there's going to be a lot of bad things that can happen from that. You can have a kid go out and think, he's so invincible, beat up some guy and break his arm, and then the next day get shot, because if you're going to beat me up every day and put me in harm's way, I'm going to resort to other means to defend myself. And I think some kids, they don't understand that. They're fighters, they're not martial artists, and our sport, MMA, is deviated from martial arts to a sport. It's being trained like NFL, like boxing, like basketball, and I think it's not the right direction. 100%. I think you need some of that, because the traditional martial artists are so brainwashed sometimes that they get stuck in their tradition, and they get to the point where they think, doing some kind of move is so powerful that we shouldn't even do it in practice. So they have this illusion that their art is so powerful, and they go in this delusional realm. I think you gotta be in the middle. You gotta be realistic. You gotta spar. You gotta see, test.
Yeah.
Constantly test, and you can't be completely kick out tradition and become somebody that's not a good member of society. I think you gotta be a positive member of society.
Well, back to how I've heard you mention this before, and I don't know how that's going to play out, but you said that George could possibly go down to 155.
That's dead in the water.
Dead in the water?
I think it's physically possible.
Right.
I just think George is not up to doing something so drastic.
Yeah, especially if he's not used to it, right?
But the thing is, George has a very his diet is not very controlled.
Because he doesn't have to. I hate people like you.
I try to explain to him, that if you don't eat McDonald's every 2-3 days, you could lose 10 pounds.
Right.
And if you can lose 10 pounds, that puts you at 175. 177, let's say. Mm-hmm. You can make 155. I try to explain to him that. And if Kenny dropped down to 147, it would be something I'd want George to do once, twice. Because I know he loves his McDonald's. I know he loves his fast food. So it would be hard for him to do. But if he wanted to do something crazy and shock the world, he could. Feasibly, I think he could.
Yeah. Well, because I'm talking about, Rory now, he's 170. Or what's he walk around usually?
He's walking around 185, 190.
Yeah, okay. And then, so George could possibly go down and Rory could go up. And,
yeah, but those are things that, I think would be explored only once, a few key fights are done, and then we'll talk about. I think the guys would rather go up to 185, it's just easier.
Yeah.
Rory, I don't think it's possible for him to go down to 155, but George, because of his eating habits and his misunderstanding, I think, of nutrition and lack of belief that it makes a difference, I think is...
I hate good genetics people, okay? My roommate eats cookies for breakfast, and there's no consequence. Makes me aggravated. I'm sorry. I'm working out my own diet issues. But, I think it's really cool that you guys are not, they're not planning to fight each other. Rory has BJ coming up next. And I'm wondering what's BJ thinking that, he's going to come out of retirement to fight a young lion?
It's crazy to me how people underestimate BJ. He's a really, you know, he's an incredible talent. The guy is dangerous. You know.
Oh yeah, see that's the fan bandwagon I always talk about, because in the beginning everybody thought BJ was the greatest. BJ. Then he has like one loss, and then it was like, hi, everybody hates BJ. It's like the audience is so fickle.
Think about what he's done. He's one of 2 guys who've won a championship in 2 weight classes. I mean, that's something I haven't never seen anybody but Randy Couture do. And you know, it's something it's such a, you know, he's still up there. He's still the standard. He was pound for pound one of the best pound for pound fighters for years, considered top 3. Him, George, and Anderson Silva. I mean, you can't
But
look
how
down
does
on
age?
this guy.
No,
He's so well accomplished
no
that
looking
you
down.
have
But
to,
how does age? You know.
I don't think Rory's gonna win this fight. It's in the bag and it's done. I think we
Right.
got to plan and we got to focus our attention completely on preparation for BJ specifically. If you want to beat BJ, if this is his last fight, he's putting all his eggs in that basket. He's gonna be prepared. He's not gonna, you know, he's not gonna take it easy on this training camp.
Right.
I think it's a big fight for Rory. I think it's a huge fight. Anything can happen, and I'm planning on doing everything I can to get Rory ready.
But how does age play a factor now into the fact that Rory is so young? And
no, I think BJ's at the better age.
Okay.
BJ's at the age where he's still fast and he has the wisdom.
Yeah.
Rory's at the age where he has more speed but less wisdom.
But less control. Right?
Less wisdom, because you know he doesn't have all the. I don't know how many title fights BJ has, but he's been in a lot of title fights. He's had a lot of rounds. You know, he's had a lot of great epic fights. So
and the ability
Rory's
to deal
just
with
starting.
pressure.
He's just breaking that point. He's just co-main event one time. BJ's been main event. I can't even count how many times. He was fighting for a world title fight against Jens Pulver when Rory hadn't even had his first fight yet. So I mean, things. You know, he has a lot of assets. He has a lot of things that are on his side, and you can't overlook that, especially experience. You know, experience is a tricky thing, and I just think most people don't understand that, and that's why you think, oh, you know, this one's in the bag. It's crazy to me. People think that. You know, it just shows that they don't know.
Why would he call BJ out though? What was it that?
It was not calling BJ out. There's no animosity there. You know, TriStar, BJ, me, Rory, George. We're all on good terms.
Yeah.
We all respect each other. I mean, I have a tremendous amount of admiration for the BJ Penn team. They're great. It was just something that I think UFC wants to see, the fans want to see, and they asked us to, you know, try to put it together from our end.
Yeah,
we
and
want
it made
the fight.
it seem
We
that
want
it
to
was
know
Rory
BJ.
who wanted it.
Rory wants the fight.
Okay.
It's an honor. It's a dream to fight a guy like BJ Penn, because you know it's like fighting your you know, a guy you've been looking up to for so long.
Right.
He's a hero of ours. We wanted to see Rory have that experience. You know, it's not a we want to beat him up thing. We want to chase him down. We want Rory to have the honor to be his name put next to BJ Penn. And if BJ Penn is willing to do that fight, great. And he is willing to do that fight. And it's because you're fighting each other doesn't mean you dislike each other.
Right.
It's a time now to test yourself and, you know, give Rory an opportunity to see how good he can be, if he can shine. Because BJ shined already. We want to know if Rory can do it too.
Well, we're talking about where all your fighters are going career-wise and what's next for them. But what about you? What's next for you? What do you want?
My goal is to bring all my guys to a world title and win them all. You know, that's my goal. You know, as a coach, I want all my guys to be world champion. I want to have, if there's 7 weight categories, I want to have 7 champions at one time.
Do you have a nickname? I don't believe you for some reason. I think it's something you don't want to tell me.
Yeah.
This happens every time I ask guys like what their nicknames are. They give me that. You're a girl, can't tell you. And there was one more thing I wanted to ask you, and I just totally forgot. What do you love about martial arts?
You know, I like always learning new moves, little details. It's always mind-boggling to me. You know, I love just learning about the art. You know, I think there's a lot to learn still. If you look especially at jiu-jitsu, there's so many new techniques developing, and the way it's clashing with wrestling, and it's solving different problems. You know, according, you know, that it's clashing with the boxing style, the wrestling, like how to deal with these new problems that are coming about. It's fascinating to me, and it's just that's what keeps me really interested in the game.
Yeah, there's always something to learn. Well, I'm looking forward to learning from you later on today, and it should be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Thanks, Firas, as always. Thank you.